All right, good morning, everybody. We are in our third recovery week in our formatting series, and today we are in our second recovery day. So you don't need any equipment, just your mat. I'm going to hang out barefoot and feel the concrete and the mat beneath my feet. So let's just get some stretches going, and then we'll get on into our day. So bring your hands all the way up overhead. Nice deep inhale. And then exhale, we're going to dive all the way forward, stretching over those legs. So depending on how tight you are right now, just be gentle. You can let your knees bend a bit, or you can keep them straight. And then inhale, come all the way back up. And then this time, grab your left hand with your right and pull yourself over to the right. Exhale as you pull. And then inhale, come to center. And then grab your left hand and exhale, pull to the left. Inhale to center and then dive all the way back forward again. All right, and then go ahead and widen your feet for me just a bit and then hinge side to side. So again, nothing too crazy. Just slowly waking the body up, making sure it's ready to go. Just hinge side to side. Try to plant evenly into those feet. Feel like your pelvis is leveled off. Grab through that core. And then we'll go into a nice low squat. So find a spot where you can get your heels on the ground and you can squat down. If you're up higher, don't worry about it. Just slowly over time, you'll get to where you can squat all the way down. But this really helps open up your hips, get your calves, your shins, your feet and ankles all a little more mobile. It's a good position to get into for all of the organs. All right, and then let's go ahead and hit up a downward facing dog. So plant your hands at the front of your mat, feet all the way at the back, and then drive your chest back towards your thighs. So if you're tight, it's really difficult to get that butt up very high and to get those legs straight. So we really want to try to find flexion and work into that upper back to create space in the low back, and then also to stretch through the hamstrings. So if you need to bend your knees in order to get your booty in the air, that's totally fine. But we want to feel that space, that stretch through the legs. Feel the core grab. So you tighten through the pelvic floor all the way around your abdomen. Keep sliding those shoulder blades down. Feel like you're hollowing out your armpits and relaxing between the ears and shoulders. Take one more deep inhale and then an exhale. And then let's pull the body all the way forward. If you want to hit your knees, you're welcome to. Pull the body forward with the chest coming between your hands, but flex your glutes. And again, if you want, you can drop your knees onto the ground. Pull your head back a little bit, slide the shoulder blades down. But keep your core still strong and the glutes still flexed to protect that low back. Kind of pull your elbows so they rotate back toward your rib cage, and the fronts of your arms are pulling forward. All right, drop onto those knees, and then we're just going to hinge back into our child's pose. So reach your arms straight out in front, get a nice little stretch through the low back. And then we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to be hitting 10 of everything, and we'll see how many rounds we can go through. Plant onto your hands and knees, and we're going to start with a bird dog. So you're going to extend your opposite arm and leg, kick it way out in front of you, the arm way in front, the leg straight behind, level off through the shoulders and the hips, and then see how much wrap you can get around your waistline. And then pull elbow and knee together with your exhale, and then inhale, extend out. So there's one. Exhale, tuck in. Two. So even though we're not going high intensity today, you should still be building a pretty good amount of heat because you have a lot of flexion. You're trying to grab as many muscles as possible. So if you're familiar with isometric contraction, it means self-flex. So we're finding traction between the hand and knee that's on the ground. And flexion, we're pretending like we're pulling against resistance, pushing against resistance on the moving arm and leg. 2 more. As you exhale, pull that rib cage in. All right, there's 10. We'll go to the other side. Inhale, extend, exhale, tuck. I want to try to keep a level back and hips. 3, 4. Build that heat. Flex in as much as you can. Keep tucking. 9 and 10. Tight, tight, tight. Okay. We're going to do a little down dog plank between. If you don't push all the way to your down dog, you can just hinge back and forth from here. So shoulders would come up over wrists and then hips drop back over your heels. Otherwise, you can join me with a little down dog. Grab through that core, pull the body all the way forward, push back again. So flex through those shoulder blades, flex through the glutes as you come all the way forward. It's our last one. Grab, tighten. Okay, and then rest your knees. We're going to do a fire hydrant, so we're going to get some hip opening and also build some work and heat in through your glute. So plant wide into your hands. You're going to keep your left leg on the ground. Again, we want to try to keep those hips level. So flex the right leg, and you're going to open the knee out to the side and then draw it back in. So just like we did with our bird dog, you want to try to create that isometric flexion, grabbing, wrapping muscle to bone in the arms, in the back, in the core, and then in those legs. So we're not swinging our leg through the air, through space. You're in control. You have that flex into the glute. And then also on your thigh, that's on the ground. So flex into that supporting leg. Grab tight through the core. Make sure you're gripping evenly through the hands. Planting evenly. 8. Imagine you're trying to pop a balloon between those thighs as the leg comes back in. And 10. All right. Other side. Set it in. Flex tight. Open that left leg up. 1. 2. Again, don't worry about how high those hips come. This is a good opportunity to let you know how tight your hips might be, what range of motion isn't working as well for them. Wrap around the core. Don't forget. Remember what you came for. So even though it is a recovery day, we still want to build some burn. We still want to build some heat, activate those muscles. But we're slowing down. We're going to get away from any compensation. Give me one more. Awesome. All right. Extend those hands way out in front. Curl the toes under. If you need to stay on your knees, it's fine. Stretch through the backs of the legs. Exhale. Come forward. Grab through that plank real quick. Inhale, push back. Belly super strong. Exhale, come forward. Last one. Inhale, push back. And then exhale, come forward. All right, drop back down onto your knees. And we're going to do a straight leg extension. So just like we hit up last time, going to the side, this time we're going to extend the leg straight and go back behind. So once you get your legs straight behind, level off those hips. Again, tighten through that core. Make sure the shoulders stay up over the hands. And then you're going to kick the leg just to the point that you feel the glute activate and the hamstring in that lifting leg, but you don't lose that squared off hips. So the low back stays stable, the belly tightens strong to support, flex the foot, grab a lot of heat all the way around that thigh, the supporting leg. 7, 8, 9, and 10. So we're focused on those hips. We're focused on the low back. We're not just swinging that leg through the air. So left leg back. Make sure that the hips are level. Here we go. 1. Pull the elbows so that they pull back towards your knees. Can you build more flexion through the triceps, through the back, through the core? Last 2 and 1. All right, push back into that downward facing dog. Stretch through those legs, slide the shoulder blades down, feel the core stay strong, hinge forward, grab your little plank, push back, drive forward, push back. All right, we're going to get off of our hands, we're going to flip over onto our backs, and then just like our bird dog, except we're going from our backside, we're going to hit up a dead bug. So flex your feet, shins are parallel to the ground. Slide the shoulder blades in. You're going to take your right arm and left leg, extend behind, but check that your left arm and right leg stayed completely still. Draw it all back up together and then extend through the other side. So we're going to go 10 each side, alternating. And your focus is keeping that low back pushing toward the ground, but wrapping all the way around your abdomen. So all of the movement is facilitated by the core. You're wrapping your thighs, you're wrapping your arms, but the core is the main focus, and it's doing all the work of supporting the pelvis as the leg extends long. We need this super strong foundation of the core. We think if we can hold a plank or do some sit-ups, we've got a strong core. But there's so much more that needs to be developed from the inside out. 2 more each side. Tight, tight, tight. Feel like your abdomen is pulling together as opposed to flexing and protruding. All right, there was our 10. Tuck your knees into your chest and then rock and roll up. We are going to go into a supported side plank. So plant your left hand and then put your left knee straight out from you. So you want to make sure your hips are up off the ground and not hinging back. So they need to be pushed forward. So you're in a supported side plank. That shoulder is right over your wrist. Bring your other arm up, and then we're going to lift and lower that top leg again. And take our time, not rush through it. Notice what you're using to get the work done. Where's your core? Find it, contract it, flex it, make it work. You should feel flexion through the supporting arm, the lifting arm, the supporting leg, the lifting leg. 8, 9, and 10. What happened to your hips? Hopefully they didn't start pushing back, but they were still pushed forward. So you gotta open that chest, flex through the glutes, open those hip flexors, shoulder blades back and down. 1, 2, you got it. 3, 4, 5. Grab into the back, roll those shoulder blades down the spine. Keep it up. That leg should be starting to feel heavy. 9, pull that belly button back to your spine. 10. All right, we're going to hit our little down dog plank, and then we're going to go into a held plank. We're going to hold 1 minute in the front, and then 30 seconds each side. Head forward to your plank, flex in, inhale, drive back, forward to your plank, and then push back. All right, so we're going to head down with our elbows on the ground. If you do not do a plank, I'm going to have you go back to a bird dog. Here, side to side. Otherwise, join me, elbows on the ground, ready, set, and go. So what I want you to do is check in. See if you can bring your shoulder heads up in front of your elbow crease a bit, and then lift the hips, then tuck under. So eventually you do want your hips in line with shoulders for sure, but I find that more of us sag and drag toward the ground instead of having that lift. So flex through those glutes, tighten around that core, whole torso is engaged. Pull the elbows back towards your toes. When you do that, then you build your traction. You get even more work underneath that rib cage. Push into your back. 10 seconds to go. All right, from here, we're going to take a turn onto this side and go. Turn to one side. We only have to hold 30 seconds each side. Keep your hips up. If you're on your hands and knees in your bird dog, just crunch your shoulder towards your hip, finding that oblique. So you can do 30 on one side, crunching in, 30 on the other. You got it. About 10 seconds left here, and then we'll get our other side. Find your flexions. Stay in it. Okay, turn to the other side. Stack those shoulders. Open the chest. Drive your hips up. Make sure those feet aren't too far away from the shoulder. You got it. Keep holding. 5 seconds to go. And time. All right, grab your couple down dogs, down dog plank, and then we're going to do a wall sit. If you do not have a wall nearby, then I'll have you just hold a glute bridge on the floor. Inhale back. Exhale forward. All right, so if you don't have a wall, you're going to lie on the ground and then just drive your hips up in that glute bridge here, making sure that you feel it all in your glutes as opposed to the low back. Otherwise, find a wall and join me. So, in the wall or on the ground, find that position where you have a tug of war in the knees, right? It's like you're squeezing against a ball or something between the knees. You're pushing against a band or something outside of the knees. And then especially on the wall, it's pretty quad dominant. So I want you to see if you can take your brain to the glutes and hamstrings. So the more that you dig in to the heels, then the more that you'll feel that underneath side of the leg. The quads are pretty happy to be active all the time. So we want to work on those glutes and hamstrings. Lift the chest, shoulders back. Where's the core? Are you still holding that core? Wrapping all the way around. We have 10 seconds to go. What can you do? Make it a little tougher. Dig in deep. And time. All right, let's hit our down dog planks for 2. And then we're going to go through one more full round. Drive those hips back. Exhale forward. Drive back. Exhale forward. Okay, our bird dog to start. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips, flex deep. Extend, exhale, tuck. Remember, flex everything. Grab the core. A lot of these moves are extremely foundational, but actually be beneficial to hit most of them before a weightlifting session. Kind of a super good warm-up. Get the sweat started. 8, 9, 10. Other side. So now we'll just have some in our back pocket to grab before we're going to hit a heavy set. 3. Grip, grip. We are trying to find the toughest way to get where we're going. So it's easy to just fling your appendages through the air. 8, 9, 10. All right. Quick down dog, quick plank, and then we're going to go back onto our hands and knees and hit up our fire hydrant. So I'm going to go left arm or left leg first this time. Elbows pull back toward your thighs. Flex everything. 3, 4. See if you can find your inner thigh. 8, 9. Level off those hips. Grab around that core. 10. Other side. 1, 2, 3. Keep your shoulders up over those wrists. 7. Can you grab any deeper around that torso? And 10. All right, down dog plank, and then we're going to have our straight leg extension. This time, if you'd like, you can hit up a plank instead of hands and knees. So it's totally your choice. Big, wide, spread open fingertips. So set up your plank or hands and knees. Flex through that back leg. Lift the other one straight up. Kick through that heel. You have to stay in control of those glutes, flexing deep, so we're not just yanking on the low back. 9, 10. Other side. Make sure those hips are leveled off. 6, 7, 8. Almost there. 10. All right, hit up your quick down dog. To plank again. And then drop it down and roll it over onto your back for our dead bug. All right. Shins are parallel to the ground. My arms are shaking. Extend opposite arm and leg. Means we've been on them for a while. This is good. And then the other side. There's 1. Set it in. We got plenty of time. Create resistance. You have to do it all by yourself. But the more that you can find that, the better off every single workout, exercise session you have, anywhere you go. Be safer, less chance of injury. Tighten through that core to pull everything back together. You got it. 3 more each side. Flex, contract, pull. Last one. All right. Roll it up. We're going to our side leg extension. I'm going to start on my second side this time. Something about that second side always feels heavier, faster. Okay, open through the chest, flex everything, grab flexion on that supporting leg. And then lift and lower the top. 3, 4, 5. Is your core still as strong as it can possibly go? Your back, your legs. 7, 8, 9, 10. Other side. Open up, push those hips forward. So still feel like you're in a plank position. 4, tighten, check. That leg feels heavy. 9, 10. Whew, okay. Down dog to plank, and then we're going to hold our plank 1 minute. Come forward, drop onto those elbows if you'd like, and we're on. Tuck that tailbone under, tighten in deep. Find all you can here, as much flexion as possible. You should find so much flexion, so much grab, tension, and heat through the core that it would be tough to hold your plank much longer. It's not just the core, it's mainly the core, but our arms, our back, thighs, glutes. 20 seconds to go. Final 10. Keep your breath even and deep. Remember to tuck that tailbone under. 3, 2, turn to your first side. We have our side plank. Make sure the hips are up nice and high. If you'd like, you can lift your top leg up off the bottom. Your choice. Still flex both legs. Grab through that oblique. 3, 2, and 1. Other side. Get that lift. You got it. Check in, notice what your body's doing, what it's capable of, where it's come from, the progressions you've made, the stronger you're getting. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, we have our wall sit or your glute bridge. Ready, set, and go. Flex in. Find that tug of war in your knees so that you can get that wrap all the way around your thighs, all the way around your core. So every time you exhale, feel those deep interior muscles of the core heat up and grab deep. We're not here, just like with our plank, we're not here to make it look like a walk in the park. Trying to find all the heat, all the flex, all the build we can. Ten seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Whew. All right, good job, good job. All right, we're gonna grab quick stretch, turn over, face the ground. Start with your child's pose. Knees are wide, big toes together. Extend those arms way out in front. Just grab a couple deep breaths here. And then come forward. Go ahead and push into your down dog. We're going to lift the right leg up. Drive your left heel down to the ground so you can get a nice little hamstring stretch here. Push, push, push that chest back toward your thigh. Then bring your right leg down toward your chin, tuck it in deep, and see if you can plant your foot between the hands. Get my body parts put together here. All right, so we want to have your front right knee on top of the heel and then tuck your hips under. Maybe let your hips drop a little more. Get that back hip flexor stretch. Put both hands outside your right thigh. Give it a little twist. and then we're going to hinge back. Toes come up, straight through that front leg, grabbing some stretch through the hamstring. Okay, quick pigeon. So you're going to take your foot across your mat and then walk your hands down, walk your back knee back, level off the hips. Take 2 deep breaths. There's 1 and 2. Okay, let's do the same little sequence on the other side. So start with your down dog. Drive your left leg up nice and high. Drive the chest back towards your right thigh. Get a stretch to that hamstring. Then come forward, bring the knee toward the nose. Plant your foot between the hands. And then drop those hips. Squaring off, get that stretch through the hip flexor. Take your hands and twist over that left thigh. Hinge back. Get our hamstring. And then fold your foot across the front. Walk yourself forward. Grab your pigeon. So even in your everyday life, if you have a desk job or if you find that you sit a lot or if you drive a lot, that core flexion, shoulder blades together, just finding self-flex, isometric contractions is extremely beneficial, healthy to keep going throughout your day. If you walk, it's important to keep that core going strong as well. Watching your pelvis. Okay, we're going to flip over onto our booty. Put the soles of your feet together. Wrap your hands around. Take a deep inhale. Exhale. One more inhale. If it feels good for you to lean forward over the legs, go for it. Kind of try to dig your elbows into the knees. Perfect. All right. Good job. Thanks so much for joining me. Hopefully you built some heat. Even though it was supposed to be a more chill day, we learned how to contract. All right. I'll see you tomorrow.